Hope. Hidden between the threads of doubt, darkness, and destruction, there is hope. 4 letters that when tied together gives us something to hold on. A reason to get up, to battle, to win. 4 letters that tell us that we have a future and it's worth fighting for. Hope is the reason we overcome.
I really didn't know I was going to get to this point in my life just from the area I came from. Because it's not a prominent thing that you see people make it to this level. So I was just playing sports just for the love of the game.
To the outside world, Davin Bellamy had no reason to hope.
The east side of Atlanta, it's not the toughest place in the world, but it's doggone sure not the best place. Turn right here, this Central Drive right here. My uncle got shot at this gas station right here, shut out his back windows.
Most don't make it out of this neighborhood. There is an unseen and unkind border, built higher around these streets one desperate day at a time. But Davin had something many didn't. He had a mother that sacrificed all she had so that he could find a way out of Central Drive.
This tattoo I got right here is Us Against the World. That was one of the first tattoos I got. But growing up, it was just me and my mom always. Her problems became my problems, and of course, my problems were her problems, me being her son. But we just had a lot of tough situations growing up that made me the person I am today.
As they say, the struggle was real. It wasn't that we lived in poverty. I've always held a job. I've worked 2 jobs.
Like, nobody knew our circumstances. My mother always made sure that I got whatever someone that came from a 2-parent household got, or somebody that had, a good paycheck coming in every week had. She made sure that.
I never deviated from making sure that Davin was not taken care of, regardless to what situation that arose, whether it was me preparing him a home-cooked meal on a hot plate, or whether it was me getting up and boiling water to make sure nobody cried. Whether it was me getting up early, boiling water to make sure he had a hot bath.
This life of sacrifice never came as a surprise to Davin's mother, nor is it something she'd change. It was the life she chose. When she found out she was pregnant, it was the only option she considered.
I've always raised Davin by myself. When I decided to have my baby, I didn't depend on his dad. I wanted my child, so I had my baby. And I did everything to make sure that Davin was in a stable, comfortable home environment, even if it meant I went without.
Just growing up, my mom was my father and my mother, and every guy wants that dad to come to the games and support his son and tell him what he's doing wrong during the game. But I never had that in high school. I never had that in middle school. I never had that.
Although Davin never had a father, or even a father figure for much of his early years, he had a mother who had faith, who knew what was best for her son, and believed in a future no one else could see.
Davin actually wanted to stop playing football when he was maybe about 7 or 8, but I signed him up anyway. It wasn't an option for him to quit.
What began as a way to keep Davin off the streets turned into an escape. An escape from his reality, from hopelessness, from gang and drug violence. An escape from Central Drive.
I feel like this was my home right here at first. I was just playing the game for fun, man. I just love them Friday night lights.
Davin attended Chamblee High School in Northeast Atlanta, where his mother was a teacher. During his junior football season, when he led the team with 10 tackles for loss and 5 sacks, the country began to pay attention.
When I started getting offers, this whole track was just lined up with schools. And I was like, yeah, I could do this.
Davin received more than 25 offers from Division I schools across the country. As he thought through his decision, there was really only one factor that mattered. The one person that made each of those offers possible. He chose Georgia because of his mom.
I never wanted him to go very far, but I didn't want him to stay in Atlanta either. So going to Georgia, it just really worked out. And to me, when I think about it, it was just like, I believe that God has a plan for all of us and he works it out. You know, that it was just in God's plan that he go there and be so close to home. I always wanted Davin to go somewhere where I felt like they would continue to, not that I needed them to raise him, so to speak, but to be a family.
These people, these fans, they love Georgia, and they give us a reason to get up at 5:20, run at 6, work out at 8:30, to do the same thing Monday through Friday. That's what drives us. You don't want to disappoint all those people who bleed red and black. The little kids that we meet that look up to you, you don't want to disappoint that. You know, it's definitely that close-knit, I feel like, family that I have here in Athens. And I wouldn't trade it for a place in the world. I don't think there's a place better than Athens.
The G stands for Georgia, but it means more than that. It is greatness and growth, family, success, and second chances. The G is more to Davin than a letter on his helmet, than a football team or a university, more even than an opportunity. It is everything he hoped for and everything he needed.
It's nothing like that G. It's nothing like that G, and to me to try even put it in words, I think it takes value away from it. You can't put it in words. It's nothing like running out there, looking up in them stands and saying, wow, I'm finally here. It's a pride thing.
The kid from Central Drive is here, where no one except his mother ever believed he'd be. But he hasn't arrived, not yet. Davin will be the first to say that he's a work in progress. The difference now is that he has a family, a mom, and a brotherhood that believe he has a future and that it's worth fighting for. Central Drive will always be what made him. But the G, that is what gives him hope.
My biggest hope that he accomplish all that he wants to accomplish, all that he has set his mind to do. I want him to accomplish that. Whether it's in the NFL or whether it's as a sports newscaster, I want him to accomplish all that he wants to accomplish.
Records and stuff like that and how you perform on the field, those are important. But it's all about how you treat people. When I leave here, I don't want anybody to have any negative thing to say. Any negative thing to say. Because I don't care if you win the Heisman, I don't care if you win any award. Georgia was here before you got here, and Georgia's gonna be here when you leave. But how did you impact someone's life? So when I go out there 15 years from now and I hold my hand up with standing ovations and stuff like that, I really want people to say that was a good, genuine man. That was a good, genuine guy.
Hunker down!